There was a time in America when we didn't know a whole lot about good nutrition. Dietary research was the stuff of science fiction. For decades now, school lunch programs have been the most powerful ally in ensuring American children grow up healthy and strong. Today, we know more about nutrition and its effects on our development. So today, school food service has the challenge to put the science that we've learned into practice in feeding children. The nutrition guidelines are represented by the food guide pyramid. The pyramid groups foods according to the nutrients they provide. Guidelines have also been developed that school food service must follow to ensure that lunches provide 1/3 of the needed protein, iron, calcium, vitamins A and C in the children's diet, and 1/3 of their calorie needs. These guidelines also limit the amount of fat and saturated fat served in school meals. Dietary recommendations are made for adults as well as children because many adult diseases such as osteoporosis and heart disease have their origins in childhood. Everyone knows the importance of getting proper nutrition starting early in life, but few of us understand exactly why certain vitamins are important and how they help make us healthier.
Do you know why it's important to have enough vitamin A in your diet?
Vitamin A, at this point in time, I think A is for teeth, hair, nutrition of more parts that we don't always take for granted as far as the body moving, the everyday function of the body.
Do you know how it works?
No, I don't.
Can you name any foods that you think might be good sources of vitamin A?
Carrots have vitamin A in them. I think vitamin A is also given off by the sun.
No, vitamin A isn't given off by the sun, but it can brighten your day, particularly at night. Did you know that vitamin A helps us see better in the dark? Lack of vitamin A can result in night blindness. If you're stumbling into your seat at the theater or having problems seeing the road at night, it might be because of a lack of vitamin A. Researchers are discovering that vitamin A deficiencies occur at different levels, so even though a child may be getting some vitamin A, it doesn't mean they're getting enough. Vitamin A is among the most prevalent deficiencies in the world. In some third world countries, vitamin A deficiency is so severe it causes blindness.
I think we oftentimes do think of developing countries because the problems there are more severe. But what we've learned over the last 5 or 10 years is that there's really a gradation of vitamin A deficiency. Marginal vitamin A deficiency is hard to detect, and we might not recognize it in our school children, but we know that it can have health consequences. And so by assuring an adequate or a good supply of vitamin A in the diet, in the school lunch, we're protecting our children against immune deficiencies and the like. So I look at it as protective, and we know from many kinds of evidence that an adequate vitamin A intake is part of good health.
Vitamin A comes in 2 forms. The form in animal products like liver, eggs, and fortified milk is called retinol. The form in plants like carrots, sweet potatoes, and cantaloupes are substances called carotenoids that convert to vitamin A in your body. Vitamin A is needed in the eye to form a substance that helps our eyes adjust to dim light. If there's not enough vitamin A available, night blindness is the result.
So, how do we get vitamin A in our diet? Foods like peaches, spaghetti, and even some pizza provide vitamin A and are excellent items for school lunches. Other ways to get your vitamin A are eggs, red peppers, sweet potatoes, cantaloupe, and milk. What are the food groups that provide vitamin A? The vegetable and fruit groups contain vitamin A-rich foods. Milk is often fortified with vitamin A. Most foods in the meat group are not good sources, with the exception of liver. Probably the best known supplier of vitamin A is carrots. They help give you normal vision and help your eyes adapt to dim light. Starve a cold and feed a fever. Sweat it out. Drink chicken noodle soup. We've all heard the remedies, including vitamin C.
Can you tell me why vitamin C is important for a healthy diet?
Well, vitamins, well, they call it the sunshine vitamin, right? Vitamin C, you want to try to keep the colds away and things like that.
Do you know how it works?
Not exactly, no.
Is there any truth to the fact that vitamin C can help prevent colds? Well, it probably won't keep you from getting a cold, but studies show that it may decrease the severity and duration of a cold. That's because vitamin C acts like the cement that holds your cells together. The stronger it is, the better able you're going to resist infection and even cancer.
Vitamin C is what we call an antioxidant, which is a substance that prevents body cells from damage by oxygen. Through the body's normal processes, substances called free radicals are produced. These free radicals can be harmful to the cells. Antioxidants, like vitamin C, protect cells from free radicals, assuring that the cells of the body remain healthy.
Plenty of vitamin C is good. Lack of vitamin C isn't so good. Just ask the British sailors who crossed the oceans in the 1700s. Can you tell me how scurvy affected your crew?
Aye, we started it with 3 ships and 1,000 men, and only 145 made it home.
What kind of symptoms did the crew get?
It was a horrible thing. You've got bleeding gums, achy muscles, fatigue. We were in no condition to defend the Queen.
What seemed to change things for the better?
Limes is a godsend fruit. It's the reason why they call us limeys, it is.
Do you have any ideas on how the ship's mess could improve its service to the crew?
Stop serving them Weebly hardtack and ship's biscuit and bring out some tacos, nachos, pizza, and chocolate milk.
Another interesting point about vitamin C is that it's easily damaged when cooked. So eat fruits and vegetables raw whenever possible, or cook foods in a minimal amount of water for the shortest time possible. Looking at the food groups, we find vitamin C mainly in the vegetable and fruit groups. The bread, milk, and meat groups are not good sources of vitamin C. Iron is a crucial mineral needed for your body, but there's a better way to get iron into your diet. Iron deficiency results in anemia. Humans learn by interacting with their environment. When anemic, interacting becomes difficult. During the primary learning years, this can have a cumulative effect as children can fall farther and farther behind.
Well, the kind of work that we do and other people that are interested in the role of iron in early growth and development are seeing that you have growth failure. Kids don't grow as tall, they don't grow as large, they don't grow intellectually as appropriately as they could if they had sufficient amounts of iron. So there are lots of pieces of information out in the scientific and medical literature that says that kids who are iron deficient have attention problems, there are behavior problems, there's decreases in scholastic achievement and performance in the classroom, those sorts of things.
Iron-poor blood can leave you pale, tired, and dying for a good day's sleep. Iron is difficult for us to absorb. One theory for this is because early in our development, iron was everywhere. It was in the dirt. And where was the dirt? All around us. We played in the dirt, slept in the dirt. It was always under our nails, and most certainly in our food. To make sure we didn't get too much, our bodies learned to absorb it slowly. And that's why iron doesn't easily make it into our bodies.
The iron found in meat is most easily absorbed. Iron is found in other foods, like raisins, beans, and fortified cereals. But this iron is more difficult to absorb. However, there are certain things that help us absorb iron. A chemical found in meat allows us to absorb iron more easily. Vitamin C also helps us absorb iron so that it can get into the bloodstream where it can do its work, like help red blood cells carry oxygen to your body's cells. So, serving meat or vitamin C rich foods with foods containing iron will help the body absorb the iron. Examples include chili with beans and meat, orange juice with a fortified breakfast cereal, or chicken with enriched rice.
We find iron in the bread group, the vegetable group, and the meat group. Only raisins in the fruit group are good sources of iron. Milk is not a good source of iron.
Can you ladies tell me what calcium does for the body?
Makes your bones strong.
Calcium is important for strong bones and teeth. As we get older, and particularly in women, osteoporosis can occur due to the lack of calcium. This condition results in the bones growing frail and brittle. Broken hips and bones are often the result of osteoporosis. But you don't have to be older to feel the effects of calcium deficiency. A 16-year-old on a strict diet cutting out sources of calcium may be putting his or herself at risk of developing osteoporosis later in life.
Calcium is one of the most important nutrients in the body. You wouldn't live a heartbeat without it. It's necessary for every muscle in your body, including your heart. Every muscle contraction requires calcium. If we lack calcium, it's pulled from out of the bones, which again makes them weak.
So where do we get calcium? Everyone knows milk is a great source. Now, some people may try to tell you that as adults, we don't need milk in our diet. After all, other animals on the planet don't drink milk as adults. Why should we? That's right. They don't drink milk to strengthen their bones. That's because instead, they eat bones. See how much easier this is? Plants have calcium too. Some cultures eat large amounts of leafy greens to get their calcium. But most Americans don't.
How many cups of broccoli do you think it'll take to equal the amount of calcium you'll find in just one glass of milk? Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
You'd have to eat 4 cups of broccoli to get the equivalent calcium found in 1 cup of milk. You can also get calcium from other milk products like yogurt and cheese, as well as almonds and sesame seeds. Some foods, such as orange juice and cereal, are not normally good sources of calcium, but may have had calcium added. You can get calcium from other foods, but you need to eat a variety of calcium-containing foods, and you may have to eat a lot of them. In summary, when we think of calcium, we think of the milk group. Some vegetables are also good sources of calcium. Foods in the bread and fruit groups are not typically good sources of calcium unless they're fortified. The meat group is not a good source of calcium. Fat. Lose it, burn it, suck it, tuck it, work it, roll it, pull it, cut it. Bad for you, right? Well, not really. We need fat in our diet. Sometimes we just get too much. We need fat. It's very important for our bodies. Did you know it insulates you from temperature changes? If you didn't have any fat on your body, you'd be a lot colder in winter. It also cushions your body organs. And did you know fat carries certain vitamins, fat-soluble ones, all over your body to keep it healthy? Fat also helps you to grow, and it helps keep your skin healthy. Then why is everybody always trying to eat less fat?
Why should I care?
It's important for everyone to appreciate that fat is an essential nutrient and is required for the normal functioning of the body. So it's not good to get too little, but we also know that too much fat can be harmful as well. And a number of studies have shown that too much, especially of the wrong type of fat, can lead to problems with a number of diseases that Americans suffer, like coronary heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and obesity. So for that reason, we don't want to eat too much, and that's why there are recommendations to decrease the fat in our diet. Heart disease is America's #1 killer. For years, we've known that heart disease is linked to high blood cholesterol levels. A diet high in fat can contribute to high blood cholesterol levels.
Saturated fat is the major fat in our diet that people are concerned about. We know that saturated fats raise blood cholesterol levels, and that's a major risk factor for coronary disease. So one of our major dietary recommendations is to reduce saturated fat. And in reducing total fat, it helps us decrease saturated fat. Major sources of saturated fat in our diet are animal products, and in particular, fatty meats and full-fat dairy products.
Saturated fat, and if so, do you know what that is or what it does?
I think, isn't the saturated fat is the better fat or not? Like, you know, when you look at your labels. I'm thinking that saturated fat was the good.
I'm not sure which is the good.
Do you know if we're right or wrong?
Just like a sponge gets saturated with water, the carbon atoms in saturated fats are saturated with hydrogen atoms. The carbon atoms are held together by strong bonds. Hydrogen atoms surround the carbon atoms and don't allow them to move, making them hard and not able to flow. Unsaturated fats have double bonds between the carbon atoms with fewer hydrogen atoms, leaving the molecule more fluid. Monounsaturated fats have one double bond. Polyunsaturated fats have more than one.
Foods containing fats have a combination of saturated, monounsaturated, and polyunsaturated fats. Fats made mostly of saturated fat usually are solid at room temperature. Examples include butter, shortening, the fat in cheese and meat, and commercially baked goods that have coconut or palm oil. Fats that are polyunsaturated or monounsaturated are usually liquid at room temperature. Safflower, sunflower, corn, and soybean oils are polyunsaturated. Olive oil, canola oil, peanut oil, avocados, and nuts contain mostly monounsaturated fat. Because dietary fat in general may contribute to obesity and other chronic diseases, lowering fat is recommended. Standardized recipes will be cutting back on the amount of added fat. Most cafeterias are using lower fat milks. Your cafeteria may begin using lower fat cheeses. Other ways school cafeterias are meeting these guidelines are by purchasing lower fat versions of prepared foods like pizzas, chicken nuggets, and hamburgers. One of the problems with fat is that it comes packaged with another essential part of our diets, protein.
When you hear the word protein, what comes to mind? What do you think of?
Bones.
The word protein comes from a Greek word meaning of prime importance. The name is well chosen because protein is the body's major building material and is essential to every cell in the body. Protein is necessary for the growth and maintenance of our body tissues such as muscle, skin, and blood cells. In addition, protein is needed to make antibodies that help fight infection and enzymes and hormones that regulate body processes.
For many of us, protein means meat, poultry, and fish. However, protein is found in many foods. 2 ounces of meat, poultry, or fish provides about 14 grams of protein. A half a cup of cottage cheese also provides 14 grams. 1 cup of milk contains 8 grams. 2 tablespoons of peanut butter also provides 8 grams, and a slice of bread provides 2 grams. Often, protein and fat go hand in hand in certain foods. One way of decreasing fat, but not decreasing protein, is by using lower-fat dairy products like low-fat milk and cheeses. Also, using leaner meats and poultry rather than fatty meats is certainly a good way to reduce fat. Protein is part of every body cell, skin, muscle, bone, and organs. Protein is necessary to build strong muscles. Your body needs a constant supply of protein to repair body cells as they wear out. Especially during time of growth, the body needs protein to make new body tissue. Protein builds and repairs all tissues and produces antibodies and hormones. Protein also provides energy. Sources of protein include meat, fish, poultry, eggs, nuts, dried beans, milk, and milk products. You need calories to grow, play, and learn. But if you eat too many, you can become overweight. And that's not healthy for lots of reasons. The proteins, carbohydrates, and fat in food provide your body with calories.
Protein provides 4 calories per gram. Carbohydrates provide 4 calories per gram. Fat provides 9 calories per gram. This explains why, when we decrease fat in the diet, we may decrease calories as well. Fats provide more than double the amount of calories provided by protein and carbohydrates.
So, as you've been able to see, nutrition in school lunches is essential for helping our children grow up healthy and strong. New research into dietary guidelines only serves to raise the bar on the quality of nutrition in schools.
Research is ongoing, and we're continuing to learn new things that are going to help us make even better dietary recommendations. So we don't know everything right now, meaning that as time goes on, as new research comes out, things are going to change, and they're going to change for the better.
So there's all kinds of monsters and werewolves in the forest, and so that is why you should always eat red meats, fortified grains, beans, and raisins. These sources of iron will help you get through the night and are an important part of any diet. Are you going to eat that brownie?
Every day?
You must eat vitamin C foods every day, you scurvy dogs.
So, as I was saying, if you don't get your calcium, you're gonna look like me. Hey, are you listening to what I'm saying?
We know a lot about nutrition, but we still don't know everything. As time goes on, recommendations are likely to evolve with continued research. But there is one constant with dietary recommendations. They're only going to get better over time.